I'm going to discuss the 2024 shareholder resolution season. Advocates have submitted at least 527 resolutions on environmental, social, governance issues. That's ESG issues. It's slightly down from this time last year, but they still have plenty of time to catch up. Last year and the previous year, they had about 630 resolutions. You can see in this plot the green resolutions were withdrawn. So they came up with a shareholder resolution. They came up with an agreement with the company and withdrew the resolution. That's wonderful. Purple, they were voted on, and you don't need a majority to get it to pass. You just need to show significant support. And then the red ones were omitted. There is a little bit of a counter movement. The average support for resolutions has declined, and that's mostly because major asset managers have withdrawn some support. And this is because of legal challenges against ESG focused investment strategies. So we have seen this in mostly red states. I know Texas is an example where they challenge this investment strategy and say, you can't filter out our fossil fuel companies or some of the other companies that are being filtered, and they're being challenged. And then some of the bigger managers like a Vanguard is not is pulling out support because they don't want to eliminate buyers or eliminate investors. Let me just see. Key environmental issues include climate change. You can see that here. And that's the same as it has been for the last couple of years, focused on corporate strategies and disclosures, along with environmental management topics like agricultural practices and waste management. Social issues, we're looking at corporate political influence, decent work conditions, diversity in the workplace. Governance focused resolutions are looking at reform of the board structure, oversight, sustainability matrix that they have to report on. Let's go forward here. You could see this is the trend of the topics. Again, we're early in the season. I'd expect this to level out in 2024. We have lots of time for more resolutions to come in. Pretty similar, climate change is a big issue here. And then who's doing it? And some of this has shifted a little bit. But it is individuals, funds, asset managers, special interests, nonprofits, foundations who are engaging with companies around environmental, social governance issues. So this is a look at some of the highest scoring proposals from last year around climate change, corporate, political influence, some of the different issues, the companies that were I guess the shareholder resolutions were against, what the proposals were, who proposed them, and then the percent. Again, you don't need 50% to get these to go through. This report is put out by asyousow.org. It's a nonprofit. And they do show some in their report, they show some case studies of shareholder advocacy leading to significant environmental improvements, social responsibility milestones, governance reforms. They illustrate that there's potential for meaningful change through targeted shareholder actions. I'm going to go through a few more of these resolutions. These are some of the resolutions around climate change. Again, the companies, the resolution, who brought it forth, and the status of it, the current status. More climate change, the greenhouse gas emissions, impact disclosure. A lot of it is around disclosure. We've got carbon financing, so banks who are financing fossil fuel projects, targeting them. Agricultural practices is another big issue in the climate change area. Waste and pollution, lobbying, political lobbying. And really, the big issue is just to have them report, just say who you're giving money to and how much. Because that's currently doesn't have to be disclosed. Election spending, on fair play, around living wages, around pay disparities, working conditions and benefits, diversity programs, reporting on tax compliance, health, and this around reproductive health, workplace conditions and pharmaceuticals, the corporate human rights policies, racism, environmental justice, trade union rights, digital content, board structures, the groups running the companies. Sustainable governance includes the ESG compensation links, investment practices, matrix disclosures. And then here's a report about, or they just label it by company, how many resolutions, shareholder resolutions were filed against the company and in what category. And of course, the bigger companies, your Amazons, your Exxon Mobils, are going to have a lot more resolutions than smaller companies will. And I'll just go through this to show it's quite a large number of companies that are being targeted to make positive changes. This report does show that there are some, or does discuss some of the challenges with ESG right now investing, but shareholders are encouraged to remain engaged, proactive, leverage their power as shareholders, and that's through your investments, through SRI or ESG funds and exchange traded funds and mutual funds or separately managed accounts, so that the managers are engaging and bringing up resolutions, voting on resolutions on your behalf. All right. Well, let me know if you have any questions. We're AIO Financial. Feel free to reach out, send a message. You could go to our website and see different contact options. We also do have several tools on our website. There's a SRI course, free SRI ebook. There's a retirement planning tool, a budget tool, some other courses there. Let me know if you have any feedback. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Bye.